A lot of Doctor Who, a lot of Star Trek, some Harry Potter, weirdly enough.
Yo!
What the?
Hey, we're back to another exciting episode of Let's Talk About Stuff, where we just shoot the shit and have fun. We're going to talk about...
Is that the name of the channel? No.
I mean,
No.
no,
Just this video.
This is a segment,
Okay.
man. What are you doing?
Right.
Today we're going to
That's
go
what I'm
over...
supposed to
Today we're going to go over the matches that aren't on camera, what's happening in our local scene, maybe some things that are happening outside of our lives when it comes to the card game, and we'll see where it goes from there. Today I'm being joined by Jimmy, Jake, and Nick.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all?
Yeah, howdy.
And for the weekly update, we're going to go over first thing, what to expect this week. Didn't get the Turtle Skull because they started dropping us the new set, so we're kind of adding that in there. So Turtle Skull got pushed to Monday. And then throughout the week, we're going to get matches such as Gogeta versus Piccolo SH, Halo Coup versus Bardock's Crew, Turtle Skull versus Raditz. And then I think we got a Halo Coup and a Piccolo deck profile coming down this week as well. We're going to try to find some way to put it in there for you all to watch and hope you enjoy. I want to go over one of Jake's matches that wasn't on camera.
No.
This will tie in a little bit what we talked about last week when it comes to kind of where the meta is going when it comes to just practically red. Like 60% of the decks are being played are red right now. I think 60 to 70. You play Gogeta with Bardock's Crew. You did manage to win this game, but I happened to see the very end of it, and I think both Jimmy and Nick were there as well for this.
We were.
You comboed up to 75,000. You put double strike under. You're going for game, and it's one of those things where you had done everything you possibly can, and even to try to pile it against Gogeta right now. And it doesn't matter what skill level the player is, like from like fantastic to mediocre, like Gogeta is so a hard deck to beat. And after just figuring that puzzle out, you were mentally exhausted in a sense. And your opponent looks down and goes, I could just Z-Awaken. And you're like, God, you were defeated.
Yeah, I was pretty upset. I did end up winning the game, like you said, because that Z-Awaken kind of keeps you from restanding and everything, and I happen to have a couple cards left in my hand, but yeah, since we're talking about off-camera games, like both of my off-camera games this week were against Red Gogeta, and one of which I won, and one of which I very narrowly lost, and I think had I done my turn 3 like the way I actually wanted to, instead of like getting ahead of myself because things were going well for me. I kind of like misplayed and mishandled my turn 3, and I think that led to me not having enough combo power to survive at the very end of the game.
That was in your second matchup.
Yeah. Gogeta is really difficult to play against, and I think I mentioned this in the last week's video too, but I don't think I'm like strong enough of a player yet to really know how to take that deck to task. And I'm really searching for like a clear play line. And today I think I did pretty well in both of my games, where I went second in both games, but on my first opportunity to attack when Gogeta has one energy standing and did nothing, I just don't swing at all with anything. And then that prevents them that extra combo, like that extra opportunity to combo and filter through their deck. And from there, you can kind of clunk them out a little bit, because their first swing, they can put a Z energy down, right, by comboing on the lead swing and then putting in a Z energy. But to get that second Z energy down is a little bit more shaky, because if like they tap out for a unison and swing and you negate the attack, that's it, and they don't have another opportunity to place a Z energy. And then on your turn, you can machine gun the unison down, and none of that gives them an opportunity to place a Z energy. And then here you are almost on turn 3, and they have one Z energy. So overall, I think that's like the main strategy to play against the deck. You just like, as frustrating as it is, you can't attack it. Like, it'll take itself down to 6, and you just have to get it from 6 to 0. But overall, it's a really mentally taxing deck to play against because you have to play against the inevitability of the 8-drop and the secret rare, and the swarm ability of the 1-drops and rush attack Vegeta simultaneously, because the deck can post turn 4, the deck can instantly pivot between strategies, and you have to have solutions for both. And I think that's what makes it really difficult to play against. And I think I'm just rambling at this point, so somebody take it from me.
I was going to pass over to Nick, unless someone else said something first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with you on you have to focus on basically 2 different decks at the same time because of how different D2 strategies for Gogeta is. I think one of the strategies that I found that has been very potent playing against the deck is just kind of play with the idea that turn 4 I'm losing my field and I'm losing 3 life, and I play with that in mind. And all of my from turn 1 to turn 4, I'm playing with the idea of I'm playing with 3 less life now. I'm starting at 5 life. I'm playing the shitty, what was it, the shitty Champa deck from a couple sets ago. I'm starting with 5 life. That is my game plan going forward, and I'm only I basically that rules out the 8-drop being a massive threat. If I'm from the start, I've already dealt with it, which is kind of a weird way to think about it. But I found that that's been the easiest way to play against the deck and the easiest way to wrap my head around the approaching that matchup. But you still have to play with the idea of the turns after that can be either more aggressive or they could just keep dropping that 8-drop repeatedly. Which I think is a little dumb, and I almost feel like there should one of the erratas for the deck, if it gets any, is the 8-drop cannot be played on consecutive turns, similar to like the Broken Seal, because if you don't because it kind of makes the Z Awaken more valuable because you get to keep your 8-drop and you get to have an 8-drop in consecutive turns. Where right now you could just, if you have 4 of them, you could play them 4 turns, and never Z Awaken. Which is very frustrating to play against, even though it feels really good to drop multiple 8-drops in a game.
I mean, we played.
Yeah, I had to let the cat out. That's I knew that he wanted to be picked up and pet, and then I think he decided that he didn't like it and decided to scream at me until I took him out.
But was that him scratching on the door?
No, I think that was
my dog.
Here comes the cat.
Yeah, my dog would scratch himself. I brought Prison this week because the change in the rules, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna be excited for this. And the first time I got a chance to play against Gogeta was against you, and you did that. Like, I played the idea, I'm like, okay, cool, just stay as high as I can. Cool, I stayed at 5 life. You hit me with triple strike. I went down to 2, survived that turn, and then your following turn, you literally just played another one. I'm like, yeah, it's game, man. I can't do anything on that one.
Especially for Frieza Prison, you'll be the first to say like the deck is not a very combo heavy deck.
No.
You are mainly just staying out of the battle step, and when you have a card that just says you can't say no to the battle step, that's pretty much a guaranteed 3 damage.
Yeah. Now Nick managed to get a win off camera against Gogeta, I think, as well. But he played the slug package, which I'm guessing is a really good tech against Gogeta when it comes to yellow.
Yeah, it's honestly a lot better than what people think. Because not too many people are playing yellow at this point in the game. It's either red or blue. But the slug package not only stops the 8-drop from coming in, it stops almost all of the advantage that Gogeta has. Like free playing the 1-drops to draw and then comboing to get a draw, you just say no to that. And that was one of the big things when I played in my game off game. I was able to actually establish the Super Namekian, and it was a night and day difference. Like, he wasn't able to use his super combos. He wasn't able to do the 1-drop plays. I was able to actually whittle the hand down from like 15 cards to go for the win, just because he wasn't able to keep the advantage that Gogeta normally likes to accrue every turn. And one of the other points that Jake made about slowing them down, this could be where we start seeing the return of like the hard extra card negates. Because in my in my Piccolo list, I'm running Nimbus now, which is something that most yellow decks haven't run in a long time. Like most decks are fine going to the battle step, but I think just stopping Gogeta from doing that in the early game, I think is going to be a big difference maker. And then going in when you're ready to go in and not letting them awaken early or be set up to do all the crazy stuff that it does.
Yeah, I mean, Unison of Fury was kind of what I used to keep from getting swarmed in both games, and it just kind of felt like a dam holding off a flood. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, but funny enough, I think Piccolo is actually really like what's the word I'm thinking of? It's in a good position to actually take on the deck because I did win the one game against it, but Jimmy and I played in our first round, and he was surprised the amount of stuff I was able to do. Like even without me going into my 8-drop, I was still able to provide enough pressure to make him sweat a little bit. He didn't have full control of the game at every point. Like I was able to match him and respond to everything he was doing, even though he was able to establish multiple 8-drops. I felt like the game was a really good match, regardless of how it ended.
And that game will be on camera later this week, so stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, count how many minor misplays we made throughout that match.
Combination of tilt and jokes.
I'm still warming up from Friday night.
Speaking of Friday night, you guys want to talk about that? I missed that event, but a lot of you guys went to Matt's to kind of hang out and play cards and had a not contest, but like a costume
contest.
Like,
No, we don't want to talk about it.
You kind of had a contest. It was a tournament that Matt held.
Yeah, little Halloween event. You know, a box of what's it called? Ultimate Squad on the line.
We couldn't find any of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
About as low stakes as it could possibly get.
Yeah.
What'd you guys wear?
I think Jake had the best costume.
Oh, really? You think
Yeah.
I had the best costume?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I went as a barbarian from D&D that was in a campaign that just happened in Modernity like 2 weeks ago, and I just wore clothes like a tank top and a flannel shirt and brought an axe.
Yeah,
It was very on theme.
I thought it was lumberjack at first when I saw the axe coming out, and then I saw it was like a barbarian style axe, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It's like a barbarian lumberjack.
Hey.
It's like a red flannel. I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of sick."
That could have worked too. I should have said that. Damn it.
Well, that's your costume for next year.
There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got like what 10 days for Halloween? Come on, man.
Yeah, I could bust it back out.
Yeah, I think I had the best costume in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I had an inflatable toilet with a little man sticking his legs out. I was on the toilet the whole game.
Could we put? I have a screenshot of that. If you want me to send it to you, we can put it up in the edit.
I would also like Jimmy's costume as well.
Yeah, I will send you that photo pretty soon. I think my costume was both a humorous costume while also kind of tipping into bullying.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you know our dear friend Tanner. He drove about 3 hours from his new home in Kentucky to come visit us at Matt's house, and just have a good old time. And I decided to dress up as him as my costume. I'm gonna throw Nick under the bus here. We were at Spirit Halloween, and we are walking through, and we're just like walking the aisles trying to find something interesting. And we walk past the like masks and wigs, and he points at this wig. I'll also send Bancroft a picture of this. It says bald old man, and he goes, "You could be Tanner." And
the best part of the night is when Tanner picked up the bag that the wig was sold in, and he goes, "Bald old man."
Yeah. In hindsight, it felt a little bad, but he was a good sport about it. We love you, Tanner.
I wish we could have recorded this well. He sent a picture of me to his wife, and she called him like almost immediately, and it was just like a hyena cackling, and she could not catch her breath. And maybe we get him to send screenshots of the text that she sent after he hung up the phone of "I'm dying, my ribs hurt." But I will send this photo to Bancroft to throw up on screen. It was only a little bit of bullying. He did take it in stride. So, but we love Tanner around here.
Yeah, wish we could see you more, buddy.
He ain't gonna
Anyway,
watch this.
how did
Actually,
everyone's games go?
Off-camera
Oh, that
games, you
night.
mean, or that night?
Oh, that night.
Oh.
We're going on it.
My games went fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, Bancroft just stayed at home watching adult films.
Sure.
I thought you said Adult Swim, dude. I would have come
adult
over.
film. I mean, you can come over too.
I lost both of my games. I played SS3. I really just shouldn't play decks that aren't yellow.
Hey, speaking of yellow, I played yellow. I played APQ. I've had my eye on the deck for a little while and just had my mind on other things. So I built that for the tournament, planning on playing it at our weekend Saturday locals. But then my metal leader from TCG Metals come in for Gogeta. Absolute beautiful artwork. You can see that on the channel later in me and Nick's matchup. But I decided to play that just to show off the leader, and I think I'm gonna stick to ApeQ. Like I really enjoyed the deck.
Deck fun.
Yeah, like I think it's very strong while also just being really fun, and it plays with some interesting mechanics. But I went 1-1. We didn't play a third round because we just the 2-0 split. My first game was against Fluff playing SS3, and I was just able to aggro him down so quickly that he was not able to get ramp off, and he basically took control of game on turn 2 and didn't let up until he had 0 life. And my second game with Nick was a very chilly game. Nick can discuss this.
Yeah, he got his ass beat.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody like. I noticed this because we played a game outdoors as well, Nick, and you weren't shivering at all. You weren't moving, and I think that's how you beat Jimmy and I. Is you're just more adapted to the environment.
Yeah, the secret is pants.
Okay, so Nick is in comfy sweatpants, and he has on this big inflatable costume, which I assume was slightly warm, saying that it had barely any ventilation.
I was farting.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, once you see it, you'll understand. And he was just out there, just chilling, having a great old time. And if you are familiar with our good friend Tanner's fashion sense, it is t-shirts and basketball shorts year round. So I was in t-shirt and basketball shorts, and I very rarely wear shorts, especially when it's cold. And to be fair to Nick, it was not very cold out. I just don't like the cold.
Yeah,
but I was freezing to fucking death. I could barely hold on to my cards. My fingers were numb. And I was barely thinking halfway through it. There was one time where I charged an energy and I went to swing with my leader, and I couldn't feel my leader under my fingers to turn it sideways, and I was about to just scoop up my cards and say I'm going in and I'm having another beer because I'm too fucking cold out here. But I stuck through it, and I forgot to turn a card sideways to block because I was so goddamn cold, and he comboed his entire hand on a double strike Champa. So
yeah, you gotta love it.
Classic
Yeah, and
Nick play.
I did play Piccolo. It was actually my debut bringing it out. Bancroft wanted it for the channel, and I was playing it initially. This is my first time playing in person, and I did have a lot of fun with the deck yesterday and today. The deck's surprisingly good. I mean, a lot of people were turned off by it from the filtering effects, but I mean, you're seeing quality cards. You get to pick pretty much any card that you want, just because of the search power and draw power. It works fine. And then it runs just all the yellow good stuff. It's essentially half archetype, half yellow good stuff, and I thought it was a lot of fun to play. What did you guys feel playing against it?
Yellow deck good. I feel like it's really similar kind of in play style to Bardock almost in a way, but instead of going wide, you're kind of like dumping the clip with a bunch of dual attackers in one turn instead of slowly building a board, which depending on the matchup could be really difficult to deal with. I think it's one of those decks that is got a lot of really cool tech in it. Like we were talking about the slug package earlier. Like Piccolo can go get those pieces relatively easily, and then it has ways to search them up as well. And then I feel like it's a deck that, like, over time as it gets explored, like potentially you could go back and play other techs that just haven't been really discovered yet, like maybe assimilate just to like thin the deck or something like that, kind of like the purpose Fasha serves in Bardock's crew, for example.
Next
I think the
set,
deck is go on. Yeah,
I'll say next set, the decks can get even better though.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think
With
it's
new
the
Piccolo.
only yellow archetype being carried forward, right?
Well, they're making a whole new leader for the
Yeah,
next set.
but I'm
Yeah.
assuming based on the way that the cards are read, in this set, they will probably support that leader and most likely vice versa because they're gonna be a Piccolo SH card unless it specifically say it's like Piccolo Power Unleashed or some like unique character tag. I
Mhm.
think they're gonna just kind of work together. And I haven't actually played against you yet, but from what I've read and then seeing your profile, um, it just looks like a better version than the yellow Piccolo they tried to do 2 sets ago, I think. Because like it has a lot of similarities where that card's like put this under the leader and draw and search the top 5 and yada 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 or something like
Mhm.
that. It just seems to be an upgrade to the previous deck they had made, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep. I think Piccolo is probably the deck that utilizes the Z deck the best. With that 2-drop Gohan,
I would agree with that.
being such an integral part of the archetype for pulling out the 8-drop, reducing the cost on the 8-drop. It's evolved cost, right?
Mhm.
I think that is where I want to see the Z deck utilized. Because we see so many of these decks have these chains and packages where you have to hit each piece, and most decks have a way of like tutoring those cards into your hand. But just having a guaranteed resource of the Gohan in your Z energy, being able to play that out and always have a way to get your boss monster on the field, I think is the best use of the Z deck so far. Like Red, I think Red can play completely without the Z deck. I mean, other than like Z leaders, the Z leaders in Red are fairly powerful, except for the Gogeta. The Gogeta's ass, and if you're playing it, you're a bad player. That's my hot take. Don't look at me like that. I do play the card because I like it, but I think that outside of like they're
can be a
really
trap.
powerful. They're very very powerful cards in all of the other Z decks, but I feel like the Piccolo deck utilizes it the best, and I feel that the deck is significantly hampered without it. Where pretty much every other deck in the format, I mean, you could really go without it. I think Sin really likes the Z leader, but I've seen Sin win without it multiple times. I've seen Gogeta win multiple times without it. Gotenks, I haven't played against Gotenks enough to know if the Z deck is as integral as something like Piccolo, but I really, really like Piccolo's Z deck. And makes me kind of want to play the deck just because I want to play with this mechanic more.
It's a great deck if you want to learn more about the Z deck besides Z leaders. Because I know Jake can attest to this, and probably you too, Jimmy. When you're playing Ape Coup and when you're playing Bardock, like it's kind of a weird timing to Z Awake. At least
Yeah.
when I played the decks.
Yes.
But just having the easiest condition ever, just tap 1 Z energy to play a battle card to give you other effects. Like it's strong enough to where it works on its own, and it just gets snowballed with the extra effects of doing that EX evolve. So, and it's just a shame that it got pretty much dismissed at launch because because the leader said, "Oh, you have to discard a card to do it." I mean, you still get a ton of effects, and even with like the Pan SR from the deck, you can still combo with cards from your drop area. So it's really, you're not losing the value that people think you are, and it's honestly it's just a shame. I think a lot of people really need to give it a try because it is a good yellow deck at the end of the day.
Not to spoil anything, but that Gohan being dual attack and then being able to play the Pan, who is also a dual attack, very for very low energy, giving 4 attacks for 3 energy, and also the value that comes off of those 2 cards. You can watch in our matchup how how much of a shift that play did in our match. You talked about how you were in control for a lot of the matchup. That was the big shift because I
It's a
felt in complete
huge swing
control
play.
until you put those 2 cards on field, and it changed everything. And I think people are kind of sleeping on that pan. That pan is kind of legit.
It's a
I'm
strong
forgetting the
card.
name of it, but
Inherited bloodline.
Inherited bloodline. When it is used in the cost for paying for a Z battle card with an energy cost 2 or more, you can tap 1 to play her out, and she's a dual attack that will combo from the drop on each attack, and also blows up something in rest mode.
And ignoring barrier too.
Ignoring barrier, yeah.
I think if you could play that card off of Oolong, it would be in every yellow deck in the format at a 2 of.
Yep. Yeah, I'm in my Ape Coup list. I am running the Gohan just as a good way to get out that pan.
Yeah,
because I mean, also it's a 15k dual attack for 2 energy, which is just not bad. Like,
I think every yellow deck is playing at least 1 copy in the Z deck right now.
I think you have to, like, even if you don't play the rest of the archetype, like the card's good enough as is.
and funny enough, like if you wanted to, like it'd be kind of a stretch. You could go into the 8-drop Gohan, I believe, still, because it is reducing the energy cost to evolve it. You just need to play a Unison. That's the only specification to get the negging. So it's kind of a stretch, but it could be something you could do.
Yeah, once Aaron comes back around, we'll put Fire under Bancroft to get his new Trunks Cheetah profile that is utilizing that exact same thing of playing the 2-drop Gohan into the 8-drop. And Bancroft will forget about it, but y'all remind him in the comments.
You saw his face.
Well, I was trying to think. I think it was Aaron's build. I was trying to remember, like, someone recently did that. I couldn't remember if it was Jake or someone else. So I guess it was Aaron's build. I kind of saw in the background.
Yeah, I tried playing it, but I'm too dumb to play Trunks Cheetah.
I mean, that's why you play Gogeta, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No offense to anyone who plays Gogeta, but
he puts that helmet on, then he just gets first.
We're making fun of Jimmy specifically.
Yes, just Jimmy.
Oh yeah, I played Sin too.
We're making fun of Jimmy specifically.
That helped your case as 0.
Oh, it did a lot. I played without the Unison, so I don't even have to think about that part.
Look, there's a reason why his hat's red.
Because he doesn't.
Are you calling me a Republican?
You're a red player. That's all I'm saying.
It's dark red. It's burgundy.
We can't even enjoy red hats anymore, man. What is going on with the world?
Dude, okay. There used to be a thing that happened in Lexington, Kentucky called the Cosmic Invasion. There was a skate shop in the Fayette Mall, and they always did this dope ass big skate tournament and party. Like fucking Nappy Roots was there.
Live bands, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it like the bands always suck. Yeah. But they did. This was way back in the election. I have a board on my wall. The 2016 elections. They did the Cosmic Invasion Shresident event where they were going to induct the Shresident of Cosmic Skate Shop, and they sold these hats that said "Make America Skate Again." And I bought that hat. And I cannot tell you how many fucking old people that can't read the goddamn hat walked up to me and was like, stand strong, brother, stand strong. And I'm like, bro, like it says skate. And he's like, I don't know what that means. I'm like, I can't wear the hat anymore. It's on my shelf, like behind me somewhere here. And I want to wear the hat because I think it's cool, but I don't want people to think I'm a Republican.
Damn. Do you know where you live?
Yeah.
That's why I wear my Bass Pro Shop hat. It's so everyone assumes I'm a Republican and doesn't talk to me.
I'm gonna put it out there real quick. AOP doesn't support one or the other. Just putting it out there real quick.
AOP doesn't support people. You heard it here first.
Exactly. They don't support people.
Is that why our logo's red?
Oh
God, fuck you.
Subliminal. So it's a psyop.
The idea of the
AOP
logo colors, I never actually talked about this. The idea came from the idea of fire, because it's attack on productions. The definition of attack is take action on. And to me, I was like, I'm gonna, go with yellows and reds, the orange in that little area, kind of like a fire. That was the idea of the color scheme. Fuck off. I have to use my degree to some degree when it comes to color management, all right?
Can't believe you.
Yeah, at least I'm not part of Massa.
What?
Make America Skate Again.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, that's just cool.
All right, cool. All right,
That's just cool. Like, think all the cool skaters. Got like Tony Hawk. Like, that's already enough.
I think we're rambling a little much. I think that might be it for today, guys.
No, like Chad Muskie, he had some cool shoes. I mean, I think he did like some shitty things, but like he has got some cool shoes. Danny Way also did a bunch of shitty things, but he had a really cool DLC in Skate 3.
I could server mute him right now.
I mean, you could, but I mean, I think people want to hear. Like, what about Steve-O? Like, Steve-O's cool. He skates. Wee Man, dope.
There we go. All right, thank you all for tuning in.
I just wanted to see the video of Jimmy continuing to name skaters.
Here's the thing: he can unmute himself if he wanted to. He's choosing not to right now.
No, he forgot. I remember he could do that. Saw his face.
No, I was laughing. I was laughing at that too much.
Yeah, I think that's it for today. Appreciate y'all joining us. Like I said, we're just shooting the shit, having fun. It's what we want to do. It's what we want to.
I'm not having fun.
Well, then don't come.
Hey, Jimmy.
Ben Margera, he's another shitty skater.
Hey, Jimmy.
Okay.
All right. So with that means
you can't rid me.
Thank you all tuning in. Keep in mind, it's buttons down below. Feel free to click there for a reason. We're shooting the shit. Any last words you guys want to say before I just end this call?
No.